Close the app, make the ting. Close it. Close the app, make the ting. Make it. Close the app, make the ting. Don't prolong and
all right.
the ting.
It's going to be funny doing this in the round instead of direct. Anyway, my name's Elijah. I helped put this together with a big team, which I'll get into in a minute. Thank you all for coming. Friday night, crazy times in the world right now. Appreciate everyone being here. Just a bit of background, how we got to this space, stage, place in life, Man Like December, all of this stuff. My kind of day job is in artist management, but I began sharing these kind of post-it note style things on Instagram in July 2021 as things were opening up, after some events of 2020. First of all, kind of started off as like little bits of questions, ways that I could help, or a bit of advice, or questions. And then it kind of just developed into its own mini art project. And then everything has been kind of rolling down the hill ever since. I'm still not sure what this is. This is why the description was hard. People are like, what is this, bro? I'm sure some of you spoke to Bobby. It was like, the man from grime DJing is doing a lecture? It doesn't make any sense. So there's a lot of different ideas all layered into one thing. Even these squares kind of circling around us were all written at different times, different energy, different motivations, but they're all a bit of my brain. In the second half of this presentation, set of ideas, experiment, I'm going to be wearing some glasses, and it's going to be broadcasting live on Instagram at the same time as I do the lecture. It's going to look weird. I wouldn't normally be wearing sunglasses indoors, but it's going to kind of have some kind of effect, because I'll be speaking to everyone in the room and then I guess people on Instagram at the same time. The first thing I'm going to share or show is the beginnings of a work in progress that I made with Jammz and Royalty, and it's a kind of visual representation of an album we made in 1 week, written in 1 week with Jammz, my MC friend over there, and recorded in 1 day, released on a made-up label called Make The Ting, because it takes 30 seconds to create a label these days. We released a whole bunch of vinyl, which I'll talk about a bit later. So maybe we'll start with the music, because it's Friday night. We'll have a little bounce around to some tunes, and then I'll give a bit of a further explainer later. Is that all right? All right?
It's the yellow square. Elijah's got a new yellow square. You seen the new yellow square? Let's talk about this yellow square. Car, it's the yellow square. An idea on a yellow square. You seen the new yellow square? Let's talk about this yellow square. It's the yellow square. Elijah's got a new yellow square. You seen the new yellow square? Let's talk about this yellow square. Car, it's the yellow square. An idea on a yellow square. You seen the new yellow square? Let's talk about this yellow square. Square one, enjoy creating, stop comparing. Everyone's got an opinion, don't fear it. Comparison is the thief of joy, and if you listen to the noise, you might lose your bearings. Pay attention, square two's deep. Don't feel like you're limited by P. When you're feeling creative, just remember the art is creating within your means. Now that brings me on to square three. Don't model your career on someone who started before the internet was invented, way back in 1983. Now send it out to the square four crew, tried and tested through and through. Before you slap that money in crypto, remember the biggest investment is you. Square five's making a lot of sense. Living in now but still think ahead. Remain open to new ideas, cause nobody knows what's gonna come next. Now let's bring square six into the frame. You see the idea you're holding back? Release it now, stop sitting on game, cause your plan assumes everything will stay the same. Anyway, moving on to square seven. This one's key if you're talking progression. Test the process, don't distrust it. How do you think good ideas develop? Making sense? Cool, safe. Let me show you, man, about square eight. When you go one-on-one with yourself, then being number one, don't hold no weight. Square 9 might hurt, but it's true, so we need to accept it first. See, when you come from the working class, you know working hard don't always work. I apologise, I don't want to sound dark, but Square 10's gonna put hope in your heart. Picture the world if black people had always been paid fairly for their art. We ain't there yet, that's a long way, King, so Square 11 better make man think. Why are you wasting time on the timeline? Close the app, make the thing. Last but not least, Square number 12, collaborate more, mix and blend. If we all keep sharing and keep on pushing, then it all might just make sense in the end.
I think so. Let's go. Let's do it.
We saying back to back.
Back to back. Why not? One night only. Yeah? Yeah? Yeah?
Look,
I said too much this, not enough that. Too much this, not enough that. To say life is a balancing act, and if you don't feel right, moderate that. I said too much this, not enough that. I said too much this, not enough that. Too much this, not enough that. And if you don't feel right, moderate that. I said too much fiction, not enough fact. Too much fiction, not enough fact. We're living in an age where information travels around the globe faster than the flash. Before you hit that retweet, but I'm going to do the research before you act. In a pandemic of misinformation mixed with reduced attention span. Too much scrolling, not enough reading. Too much scrolling, not enough reading. Short headlines that stir your emotion means your attention span is depleting. Before you know it, regurgitating things that you don't even know the meaning. That's when it hits. It's better when you say nothing at all like Ronan. I said too much tech, not enough innovation. Too much tech, not enough innovation. So much tech, it's like we don't think sometimes because we don't need to be patient. Technology is merely a tool, not the actual answer. Don't be mistaken. So many problems without solutions, but we're the humans, we must create them. Too many hits, not enough impact. Too many hits, not enough impact. Yeah, it's all good when your song goes viral, but in 2 weeks will the DJ spin that? Time is constant, moments are fleeting. If you ain't careful, something to distract. Consider legacy when you're creating. If it's something you're trying to keep. I said too much screen time, not enough real time. Too much screen time, not enough real time. Specsavers must be bathing differently because our eyes don't get enough hill time. We spend connections online, but we're losing touch with people in real life, even in raves. Everybody's on phones and it ain't what raving should feel like. Too much thinking, not enough doing. Too much thinking, not enough doing. Why waste time thinking about doing it when you could actually get up and do it? You spend so much time analysing things, then you want a timeline to screw it. Can't make plans and assume that things won't change. Every day things keep redoing. Too much fear, not enough love. Too much fear, not enough love. You see, when you act from a place of fear, it just attracts fear to come back to us. When your defense mode's always on, then your connection with the world gets snuffed. You can move mountains working together, but the world's too big when you were just one. Yeah, that was hard.
You know, we decided on that last minute, you know.
Yo.
It's my first time rapping on stage.
All right, I've got a game here. Who knows about Simon Says? What? Just a few of you. Who knows about Simon Says inside? All right, let's try this. Listen. Simon says the why is important because the why is what people embrace. Simon says the why stands out when you make choices with your limbic brain. Simon says when you work with people who share beliefs, then you can make change. Cause when you figure out why, you could be like the van and play long-term games. I don't normally play Simon Says, but I'll listen to Simon when he explains. Told me it takes your what and your how, puts them both inside of a frame. You see the why was born from pain. Without the why, it's all in vain. If you don't know what you do, then how do you even measure what's gain? Without the why, everything's worthless. Can't be out here without a purpose. Yeah, your how and your what sounds good, but it's all dead when you scratch beneath the surface. You see the why is not just about you. When you break it down, it's all about service. Go alone if you want to go far, but if you go together, then you'll go the furthest. Let me break this down some more so you realise how this thing is working. But when the pandemic just kicked in and everybody felt lost, Elijah was searching. Being a grime DJ was calm, but aside from that, it's like the fire stopped burning. Started to process things by writing and realise that people yearning. It's like we're all connected by phones, but there's somewhere in the circuit, individuals obtaining the keys, but collectively they weren't sharing the surplus. Just one person asking the questions, enough for man to start sharing the learning. That's when he finally figured out why, then he started writing again in earnest. One post for the week's not enough, cause more time curious feels urgent. Wanted to do more, so he jumped out of the frying pan straight into the furnace. Now he's moving, rules them are turning, don't we? When you're led by, you said you don't need ways when you're led by a why, cause your destination just feels more certain. And now your sat that feels obsolete, like a North Star in the night shining. Your how and the what will appear in the distance, think of those that street lighting. And when you have all three, nobody can take you off course, any weather or climate. And you could even lose the last two and still be alright if you carried on climbing. How are we feeling inside? Are we alright? Right, what's next, selector?
Alright, questions. This is just you.
Can I, should I? How did this work? Will I, could I? Shouldn't I, can't I? I've got so many questions. Well, should you? What's, could you? I know I ain't got the answer. Sometimes I wish that I could too. Yo, pull it. Can I, should I? Will I, can't I? How did this work? Shouldn't I, can't I? Can I, won't I? I've got so many questions. Well, should you? What's stopping you? Could you? I know I ain't got the answer. Sometimes I wish that I could too. But together we'll pull through. Pull it. I've got a question. With half the work and time and get paid more than you do, and can you show me the route to? I can't answer, sorry I need to be truthful. You can't shortcut this, it ain't gonna come easy. You still gotta jump through hoops, ain't so panic or voodoo. Pull it. I've got a question, is it time for a manager? Why do you think that you need one? Why do you think that it's crucial? What do you need them to do? You build the audience, do the shows and make music. Figure out how a manager fits in your picture. How can that person be useful? And then they also choose you. Pull it. I've got a question, I had a great idea, but you think I should push that? First of all, keep it simple. Don't complicate things, just release it now before the excitement dwindles. Just had an idea you ain't tried before, it might just pop like Pringles. Do it over and over and pull it. I've got a question, I had a great idea but it don't seem to be working. Is it worth trying to fix it, or should I just move on? You know what I'm thinking, what might have worked then might not be working now. Square one's not bad, take a leap and risk it, just don't overthink it. So I just, can I?
And we got one more tune.
Calculating, journey timed. Destination, success.
This tune's called ETA.
Unknown.
Survive.
If you're on a journey to success, then I don't recommend using a GPS, because how can it work when all it does, it shows you the route that's the easiest? If what I just said don't make no sense, then I don't really think that you're deep in it. You gotta take the long way to success more time, and there ain't no cheating it. If you're on a journey to success, then I don't recommend using a GPS, because the destination ain't the goal, it's about the journey you take when you're seeking it. Sometimes it's gotta go left for it to go right before you start reaping it. If you search for success in the sat-nav, here's what it would sound like if you were reading it. Before we leave out, I've got a few tips that might guide you on your way. I can help you map out a route, but that plan assumes everything else stays the same. The key to completing this journey is making sure you can play some long-term games. Read the signals of the people around you and watch what they do and not what they say. Start the journey from your current location, destination is victory way. There's too many variables right now, so I can't provide you with an ETA. Please be aware, everybody's journey is different, so the route can still change. Buckle up tight, we're setting off now, so take the first left and continue straight. Alright, the traffic ain't heavy or slight as you drive down starter's lane. Bust the first left on the exit road so you don't get lost on the explore page. Divert around Distraction Park and rejoin the route at Focus Gate. At each junction, be sure to look thoroughly to see if there's an opportunity to create. So far the road ahead's clear, but there's congestion building on the mains we need to turn off. Might take us a bit longer, but you ain't late, it's fate. Proceed with caution ahead, cause new challenges don't come without new terrain. If you get tired of your feeling fatigue, remember the importance of taking a break. If you end up going in circles, try a new route before it's too late. And if getting to your destination by car ain't working, consider taking a train. If you don't get what I mean, then let me explain this point that I'm trying to make. The way that you're used to working might not work anymore, it's time to update. I can sense you're a little frustrated, the journey's long and you're feeling drained. We're getting closer to the destination, but I don't look like what you saw in your brain. Success is subjective, so my vision and yours might not be the same. Only you can decide how it looks for you, you can't navigate this with ways. If you're on a journey to success, then I don't recommend using a GPS, because how can it work when all it does, it shows you the route that's the easiest? If what I just said don't make no sense, then I don't really think that you're deep in it. You gotta take the long way to success more time, and there ain't no cheating it. If you're on a journey to success, then I don't recommend using a GPS, because the destination ain't the goal, it's about the journey you take when you're seeking it. Sometimes it's gotta go left for it to go right before you start reaping it. If you search for success in the sat-nav, here's what it would sound like if you were reading it.
All right. Come on. All right. This is Royal T, one of my Butters brothers. This is who put together all the animations. He turned all the stuff into real life. First time working on anything like this, straight After Effects. Well, how many hours we in now? 100 hours. Make some noise for Jammz, all the vocals, putting together all the words. And thank you, lads. You can go. And Bobby, are we ready with our live thing? All right. Bobby's gonna press live. So if I say hello, Instagram, can Instagram hear me back? Give me some thumbs up. Or Brighton, make some noise for Instagram. All right, cool. I'm going to give a bit of a little explainer to all the things that happen. And I'll start here. Obviously, we're in Brighton. I worked with Lighthouse in 2017 and 2018. All right. There's one fan of the work. We begun opening up doors, creating space for new work to exist. And I guess 5 years later, that's continuing. Bobby's doing the work, helping put this show together. The old market collaborations are happening. It's live. So I'm mad proud to be here. I'm mad grateful for the opportunity to present the work in this way. If everyone faces this way, I can explain all the little squares that's happening. Okay. So if we go to the top left, this is a kind of workshop that we did in 2018. And it was like all-female and non-male identifying production group in Lighthouse. That was, I think it was May 2018. That was sick. All of the little squares in between are people that helped work on the show yesterday, writing their own yellow squares about their creative process. I'm going to go to the right slightly. This is yesterday's test on Instagram Live that I'm doing in real time now. I'm streaming with the Meta Ray-Ban glasses, just trying this thing out, see if it works, see what the feedback is like. So you're kind of in a feedback loop of yellow square in real life, in real world, punching into the screen. And this is Steve here, who runs the venue, right in the yellow square. Is he here? Where's Steve? Yeah, big up Steve. I thought I'd put him in the work too. And there's these promo videos done. Where's Lev? Is he in there? Make some noise. Yo. Yeah. You know, like promotional stuff for events is kind of dry. It's like, okay, here's the flyer for the thing. Here's the ticket link in bio, all this stuff. I was like, let's bring this event and these ideas to life in the street. Lev like brought it to life, asking people the question with the post-it notes. Thank you for that. No one's ever done that idea before, so bless up. I know it's gonna. You can boo me for this one. I do live in London. I support a team called Leighton Orient. They use the, yeah, thank you. Bring it on. They used the yellow square on the ticker thing. I'd been sitting watching this thing go past me for years. I thought, this could be used for something artistic instead of, I don't know, an advert for like a plumber's or something. Like, let's try and like use every canvas that we see day to day in some artistic way. And I wonder what the things are in Brighton here that maybe could be used slightly differently. And thinking of how to like bring this thing out of Instagram into real life in many other ways. So this, I guess this square here is like the idea of IRL, URL, football, London, Brighton, experience, workshops, Steve, and everyone else. All right, we're going to flip to the screen here. Deep feedback. So with this album, when we made it in a week, we released the acapellas so producers could remix it. The fun bit was people sending me back process. So now, hopefully, they're seeing the process inside the process of making something else. And then I did a cover for every person that did a remix. Did anyone remix the thing that's here today? No? Okay, that's cool. There was like over 100 of them. So gradually, every day, I was drawing a new cover for someone. So this little kind of video of all of them is that. So there's one by Starkey in the corner, another guy called W. Law, I think that's how you pronounce his name. And yeah, remixing, putting out the work, and me kind of interacting with it back. Because I saw a lot of things like remix competitions and kind of weird things that artists do for engagement, but they never actually put something back in. So this was my way of like showing that I listened to the music, I heard it, and yeah, like having an actual proper exchange. And I think that's like mad important in our ecosystem and scene and, you know, community in general. It's not like, you know, some, I don't know, dude on stage talking to everyone. Look. Yeah, you know what I mean. But we're having a conversation back, and that's like super important to me. If you can go to either one, they're both the same. I've done over 1,000 of these little notes now over the last couple of years, somehow. All right, let me do the easiest one. The exclamation mark was for Jim Legacy, who I just like an artist that I like, and he has this signature of just the exclamation mark, and I just replied to him with that. Graphic design is my passion. It's obviously a joke because I'm not very good at drawing. I don't know the most common response to every question I get asked. All these roles are converging, so like, yeah, what is this guy? Like, what is Elijah doing here? Is he a lecturer? Is he a DJ? Is he a producer? Like, why is he on stage rapping with Jammz? Like, what the hell's going on? I don't know, but I feel like all of these things are getting closer and closer together, and it excites me. Stop telling people to just work hard. Very annoying. And a lot of the kind of platitudes in, you know, art, when you see like people collect awards, they're like, I just worked hard. Bollocks, bruv. You were supported by bare people, invested in by bare people, your local community backed you, you were audio active, Adam, Julia helped you, you know what I mean? You went to a Lighthouse workshop, Bobby helped you, Bobby kept you out of trouble, this person helped you, like, yeah, that's where the song name, It Takes a Village to Raise an Artist came from. It was like, no, it's rare that someone just comes out of nowhere. They've always come from something, some sort of plane of people. One of one, greater than number one. This is, I guess, something I'm not orientated around getting the most likes possible. It's like, I don't know, every one that we think is interesting or good or like makes 6 songs, they're just a unique proposition, unique character, unique point of view, and that is more important than having the #1 song or being the best DJ or being the no one is the best DJ, bruv. Don't worry. Which other ones are there? Yeah, document your ting. Like all of this stuff that I captured leading into the music videos was just stuff that I was capturing naturally across here in Brighton, obviously, and then earlier on in the year in Sao Paulo and in Tokyo, with like people just making music and sharing stuff in the same way that we do here. And I just wanted to like obviously salute people in other places that haven't been able to do something of this crazy scale and put them in the work too. So I'll shout out to them. I'll shout out to people that are, far and wide. And I'm lucky as well because I get to go to India on Monday and I'll try and fold them into a second version of this work too. Let me point out another one. DJ's a music journalist. I think this is music journalism in a way, right? Like this is like modern music journalism. I'm commenting on the scenes and communities I'm part of, the work as an output of work that I'm doing, like, you know, managing in my day job with Flav and DJ Cube and Swindle and Skillium, all these people that we work with, Chand. It's capturing that. It's a different kind of music journalism. It's not on like, I don't know, a website with funding or something. But I think this is music journalism. I'll point out this one. Imposter syndrome is a feature, not a bug. This feels weird. Again, I'm in the sunglasses. Streaming. Is the stream still working, Bobby? No? All right. All right. We're live. Okay, sick. Not from the glasses. Okay. Jeez. I wish you told me earlier on. Thank you. Thank you. Now I feel like actually natural now. See everyone's eyes. Jeez. All right. I'll do a couple more squares and then I just want everyone to like throw me questions and then I'm trying to like circle everyone as well while I'm doing this. Talk to people in real life about what you consume online. When I've been trying to explain this project to people, it usually gets a blank stare, like, what? Like, if you speak to someone that doesn't use Instagram about what happens on Instagram or what happens on Twitter, they just look at you like you're crazy. And I don't know what that is trying to say, but it was a thought that passed through my head. You can't copyright vibe. You can't copyright vibe. So a lot of this work is just open source, like the remixing, like I didn't invent writing or post-it notes or putting stuff on the internet, feeding it back. None of these are inventions. This is all stuff that was already here. It's like layering that makes something original. I've never seen a piece of work since that feels like it's copying me. And if it's like heavily influenced, cool, bless, do your thing. I don't really care. Even with the remixes, people are like, oh, can I put it on Spotify? I'm like, yeah, bro, I don't care. Like, it's fine. It's great. And this is not maybe the way to operate with every single creative project, but with this, it bangs. It's not a change of direction, it's an additional layer. So get an approach with a project like this. I don't even remember saying yes. What did I say first? Like, you said 360 and I'll just make something work. What was my description? Something around that, right? Yeah. And sometimes like giving people the space to create something iterative. We just finished the work today, which I thought like was good. Like just not, having like some super long plan. Made it 30 days, about 100 hours. Every frame, I guess, or every second in the music video bit took about probably 5 or 10 minutes. So there's a lot of hours just for those bits from, I guess, non-visual people. So pick up Mark again, Roti. Do what you would do if nobody could see the numbers. Every day I speak to artists and social media comes up within the first 5 minutes and it's scary the amount of like headspace that this dominates with people. I obviously seem like a hypocrite because I'm posting on it all the time, sharing all this information, but I like genuinely like don't care about the numbers. I need to tell you this. Like I don't care. Like there's things I could have done that would have made the page get bigger. I could have put Bruce Lee quotes or I don't know, some like empty platitudes, but I prefer doing stuff in real life, connecting with real people, and the buzz of a like or a comment is just not what this project is orientated around. And a lot of the actual engagement online is from the real life events. So a lot of the following has come because someone else has been at an event and shared the thing. So it's actually not built within the app, which is something that I noticed quite early on. So we've got the extra mic, please. And I can throw open some questions.
When do you rest?
All the time, man. Look, this is the trick of the internet. This is bursts of energy, not, I'm not hyper-consumed with this stuff all the time, believe it or not. I do rest.
And how important is that to your output?
Okay, all right. The biggest bit of rest, that's the truth, is in June 2020, I deleted social media and I didn't use it again for 9 months. So maybe all of this is just like the things that were processing through that period of time. And if you want to have time away, log out, delete the thing, start new pages, change your name, change genre, new city, I'd recommend it highly. You know what I mean? Even though I've only done one of those things. But actually not being on there for a long period of time before starting to put out this work was super helpful. And again, maybe the reason why I'm excited about today and the next phase of this piece of work, because I guess all of it collectively is one thing, is it will stop. I will do it for 1 year. I'm going to kind of push all of this stuff together, make it a bit tidier, and then hopefully I'll never use Instagram again.
At what point did you know you wanted to make it like a thing, yeah?
I don't think there was a moment. It was just started developing gradually. You're getting good feedback, and I want to be, like I said, I don't want to optimize too hard for the internet thing. Like I'd always put on raves and put on events, and when I was at Lighthouse, putting on stuff where we can interact with people, even if it's small, 10, 20, 30 people, it doesn't matter. It was like about connecting with who was consuming it, you know what I'm saying? So again, I would optimize always for just being able to do stuff in real life with people. And everywhere that has been practical for me to go in the last 2 years with this, if someone's invited me to do something and I could have done it, I've done it. Like I haven't bartered with people and prices and this thing. I'm like, yeah, just make it happen and I'll be there. So yeah, go for it.
Hey, I'm Harvey. This event's mad. I was just going to say that firstly. So coming here today, my girlfriend's getting on to me because she's been saying most of these post-it notes for a while. But the main problem that I've got is, so I've got like 200 tunes on my computer, but I don't know how to mix and master, and I don't want to release them unless they're up to that quality, because a lot of tunes I hear nowadays are so polished. So what would you say to get over that and start getting tunes out?
Rapid fire collaboration. So you've started things. I guess 200 tunes is like 200 projects, right? And it's just finding vessels for them, whether that's other artists, vocalists, I don't know, session players, all these things that can just bring those things to life, and then you'll have a route to finishing. I think, like, obviously we can sit there, make beats, write, paint all day, but when you have maybe another driver to get something finished and someone else is gassed and someone else wants to drive this idea forward, and that's for a lot of the projects I work on with my friends or in management and stuff, that's what's helped get things out. The amount of bangers sitting on their computers from everyone in this room, you're not alone. Trust me. And most of this work, even this, is unpublished, which is bizarre in itself. Yeah, let people hear them in whatever capacity. And the mix and master thing, until it is on Spotify and all this stuff, don't think about that. Just let people hear it in any meaningful way that feels like real to you. I hope that's helpful.
Hi, my name's Yo. Pleasure to be here, and gratitude. Any advice on how to hold or build a village is my question.
You're in one right now. And obviously I don't live here, but there's a lot of people in this room that you can bounce off and have that conversation with directly, and that are here for that reason. And you don't have to build that on your own. People are building it. There's a village already here, and it's like, okay, how do you plug into what is already there? Maybe something that's not obvious is that where I'm from East London, the village that I plugged into originally was grime, the grime scene, pirate radio thing in London, and that was the first, I guess, artistic community that I was part of, and that helped. I didn't feel like I needed to build a village. It was like the house or whatever, the thing that we created was in amongst something already. So there's things and people and vibes already here. It's just finding a way to contribute and do something that feels right to you and interesting. Is that helpful?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, good. This is amazing to see as well.
Thanks for coming, bro.
I want to say, I wanted a bit for you to like expand on the you can gatekeep and not be a gatekeeper, because I've been doing online tutorial videos for a little bit now, and I've got my first seminar tomorrow. And just by selling tickets for it, I feel like I'm gatekeeping knowledge in a way. So, like, how do you deal with that?
Well, I think what I meant by originally, you can gatekeep and not be a gatekeeper. Like maybe people will see gatekeepers as the final boss, like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk or something. But actually, it goes all the way down to everyone. It's like, okay, like you said about knowledge, sharing ideas, beats, music, vibes, whatever it is. How can you open up? Once you've done the first one, take the learning of that one and then share that for free. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, all of the yellow squares, I guess, are free, but I'm getting paid in between. So that, I am earning money, but not from the sharing of the work. The work is happening regardless. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, is this thing, maybe I'll go back to that I don't know square. That's a very specific example. Let me think about that. We tweet each other though. Let me know how it goes tomorrow, and then I'll follow up with that.
Nice one, thank you.
Thank you, bro.
Hi, what would you say inspires you at the moment, and would you say that your inspirations helps inform your artwork?
Yeah, definitely. My content consumption is so mashed up with so many different things, whether that's like sport, rockets launching, ChatGPT, mad technology. I don't know, just I'm like overwhelmed with inspiration. So some of the time I'm like, this is actually easy because I'm just consuming so much good stuff. And sometimes when people say, there's no good music to listen to, there's no good, I'm like, no, there's too much good stuff to listen to. That's my problem. Am I just the only one that feels that? I have this weird thing where I'm like, okay, this is actually too much content. I listened to the Mellow album, the Mellow Grime album this week, and I was like, I need to actually listen to another album because I'm just listening to this all week. And things like that. I can talk about stuff like that all day. And if you want to talk about rockets launching, I'll do that separately. No bore everyone. Big up. Thank you.
How do you feel about putting on workshops in the places that you do these events to allow for people to network and create together?
Yeah, that's the point. Like, when I'm saying about kind of joking about being a village idiot, I think one of the squares that's not in here is like the best part of going to like a lecture or panel is the other people that go, not the people that are on stage speaking most of the time. Yeah, someone will say something sick, but actually it's the other people that are there that are probably like on your peer level that you can make stuff with and make stuff happen. Like some of the people that came to those first sessions that we were running at Lighthouse, I still speak to them today. And like they've done bits and music, and like one of the producers actually that came to Flavor D session has a collaboration with Flavor D out this week. I was like, this is perfect. This is exactly what I want to happen. Perfect.
I was just wondering how you strike some kind of like balance between working on something enough that you're happy to put it out versus getting not necessarily like burnt out, but I guess losing a bit of that sort of excitement or hype about it. Like, do you have a process in terms of when you're happy to put something out?
It's a good question. It depends on what the work is, but with this, because the ideas are so light, there's things that I haven't shared because I feel like I can't, maybe I'm too busy to deal with what would come back. But with lighter things, like, yeah, this is a good example. Like, what was the DJ one? It was like, if you love music, you should learn how to DJ. Oh my days. Like, I had all these mad DJs coming from my head on Instagram. I was like, oh, this is so bizarre. I just didn't think it would get that reaction. And I have other, you know, takes that are unique like that, but I just can't be bothered to deal with the feedback of that. This is running already. I feel like there's enough good ideas going, and it's about folding out new ideas out of the ideas I've already put out. And yeah, so sometimes I feel like a lot of artists moved on too quickly sometimes from their own thing, you know? Imagine if I was on orange squares or red squares or something. Like, it would be dumb, you know? Yeah. Is that a helpful answer?
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
This is really cool. And I do agree with you on this, but I just wanted to, would you say it is a lot easier to say don't care about the numbers when you're already up? And then by extension, what would you say to someone that really cares about the numbers because they're trying to build something, they're trying to like make money off something that they're not already making money off of, and they're like basically trying to build a brand or build an artist image? Yeah,
that's a good question. The reason why I say not to care about numbers is because when people think about getting the numbers, they think of doing the things that people do to get numbers. So they don't think of doing a new idea to get numbers. They think of doing the thing that everyone else is doing to get numbers. So it just creates this, I don't know, I follow a lot of DJs. This is like the example I'm going to use. If you open the Instagram on Monday morning and you follow 100 DJs, everyone's sharing clips from the gig, clips from the gig, clips from the gig. Thursday, selfie, flyers for shows, flyers for shows, flyers for shows. All you need to do is have one thing that breaks that algorithm. It doesn't need to be a better version of the camera behind the DJ going, and like pretending you're murking the rave. Like, I don't think you need to do that. I feel like having something different to add to the fold is going to bypass all of that stuff. So sometimes when I'm saying don't care about the numbers, is don't care about the things that everyone else is doing to get the numbers. That's the long version. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think.
And maybe, all right, just the caveat is I didn't have all these followers that I have now have come from this. It's not, like most of the people don't, they're like, right, like, you're a DJ, what the hell? I thought you were on Instagram. You know what I mean? So, and I didn't try and make it so I could get more numbers, because if I had more people on my Instagram than I do now, it'd be more people asking me the same question on Instagram, which I don't want to do. I would rather just do stuff like this in real life, where I can actually speak to real people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I don't know, something that I think about what you're saying that's not really said is maybe you don't need to care about the numbers. If you're doing something, the numbers will come if people want to see it and listen to it and hear it.
Maybe, and maybe they won't come, but you'll be doing something that you enjoy with or without it. And that is sometimes, I'm not saying you will do the different thing and you will get the numbers. I'm like, you might not ever get the numbers, but you will be enjoying that whole process regardless. And yeah, even in this period of time that I've been doing this project, I have no communication with any social media company. I don't have any social media strategy or anything. When I speak to social media managers, they're like, yeah, man, you should post at 6 o'clock and this thing and that thing. I'm like, maybe, but I don't think I need any advice on social media. All right. Yeah, cool. Should I do a few more? Yeah, go for it.
Hi.
What's up?
How do you know when to like let something go and to stop doing what you're pursuing?
Yes, I've thought about this over the last couple months. It's nice to even make that decision. Most of the time when you move on from something, it's like your hand has been forced. Like the pandemic forced our hand with certain things, or life will force your hand with certain things. But to actually have a route in mind to the end is like even a creative decision in itself. So if I'm giving myself 52 weeks from today to finish the project and have a rough kind of direction or guideline for where I want this to go and end, it becomes something different. If I just thought, I'm just going to do this until it runs out of steam. No. On the last post, it could have 1 like and I'll be happy because I've been in control of that end. You know what I'm saying? this is what I've learned from previous projects. You know, when we all can create new things. It's not, you know, I'm not married to the yellow square or black and yellow or Butters or Elijah or any of these things. I can put it down, could do something else, learn a new skill, be a carpenter, I think. Huh? Apart from Skilliam, we're staying together. That's the only thing that is for life. Sorry, that's my partner, it's fine. Where's the mic?
Yo.
Hey, what's up? Oh, my man Ed, what's going on?
Right. Do you feel like an artist right now? I'm like looking at you standing up on this stage and some sort of like Damien Hirst, Ai Weiwei level shit going on around us. And it takes a village, just like you say. Like big up T, big up DJ Q, big up Jammz. Like the creative work takes a village, but it takes a village for those guys too, and we call those guys the artists. So I wonder if you feel like an artist right now as you look around at all this.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. But even the shape of what the artist is like, look, I think everyone in here is an artist, otherwise you would have no reason to like pop your head in, right? Everyone here is making stuff or thinking about making stuff or made stuff, wanting to make stuff. Like everyone is in that space. It's just different vessels. I'm not a pop star dude that wanted to be famous. Like I didn't DJ to get gigs or anything like that. I was just passionate about that stuff. And now I guess because you're seeing so many people's hobbies and things on Instagram, you think, oh, it's not worth being a DJ or learn how to DJ unless I want to be David Guetta. It's like, no, you can DJ just for the love of music. And that's where my thing started. The same with writing. I was writing about grime and London pirate radio culture because I just enjoyed it. I didn't know there was going to be peas. There wasn't peas. It's part of its charm. But yeah, it's growth as well, isn't it? I've learned so much from all of them people. Like, I've learned. Yeah, I probably should shout out like hundreds of people that I've learned from over this journey. And when I miss someone, like I'm like, damn, I missed them. So I don't want to shout out anyone, just to get. But everyone that worked with us has been adjacent, has been close. Teams, the people that are supporting the artists, put out work, are also artists, which some people don't realize. I'm like, you know, the person like that is, you know, doing the support work behind the scenes, might be a bad boy painter, a sick photographer, or whatever it's going to be. So, yeah. Is there anyone in this room that does not identify as an artist? That's a question. What? I'm ignoring Bobby. Like, so what? Exactly. So yeah, most people are artists here. Okay, we got that. Sick. Thank you. That was a sick question.
This is a beautiful experience, man. You know, when I walked in, I was blown away. Just on the village question, how important do you think for artists to celebrate their failures as much as their successes?
Depends what the failure is. But I think, look, all of these pieces of work, like most of the things I do not work. I just need that to be clear at any meaningful level. All these small like little ideas, I'm just trying to like show like maybe the journey of like the DJ thing, for example. It took me like 10 iterations just to get to something concise. You know what I mean? And with songs or with albums or big projects, like it shouldn't work. It's nearly the opposite. When something works, it's like nearly a miracle. I don't know. So yeah, I think the small bits of this project actually are nothing. It's the cumulative effect of everything. And it's the same with any kind of artistic discipline. Usually the one thing standing alone is just a building block, right?
Thank you for putting this on. This is a phenomenal way to experience like what feels like the inner workings of your process. And I love how you continue to like show pure transparency in like what it is you do and how you do it. I'd like to ask two questions. One is about context. So like if we look at the world right now, it's like COP, so we understand that the climate breakdown is a thing, and we look at what's happening to the Palestinian people, we understand that like genocide is a thing, and we understand what kind of has to happen for our world to exist with the comforts that we have, and for the freedoms that we have here. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
I would like to ask, how do you like square what you do with like it's square what we do. No, how do you square what you do with the kind of wider implications of what the industry will use that for, and what kind of powers that be will use that for? You were streaming on like Meta Ray-Ban glasses, super cool, but like a lot of people getting banned off Meta and many other social media and all this sort of stuff. So banned and silenced and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, that's my kind of world of questioning for you.
Yes, yeah, that's a good question and good set of like thoughts. And the reason why it's in the I don't know folder is because there's like 10 issues there, and the real dialed down focus of this work is focused on creative community, people that I can engage with directly. This is not my opinion on everything. It's my opinion on climate change or on other situations happening around the world. It's things that I can change and affect with my voice, my words, my platform. So sometimes it's like, yeah, I don't engage in other issues, not because I don't have opinions on them, not because I don't want to contribute to a point of view. It's like I feel like the hyper focus of this is necessary to affect something that I can control. And coming here, doing stuff, being around up and down the country, I see things that not I can change, but a whole bunch of us can change in a real tangible way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it takes a village. It's like, okay, little things. Oh, okay, buying tickets, contributing to your local food bank, whatever it's going to be. And those are the things that I can control. And those are the things I'm directly engaged with day to day. And I think to just with I think what people do when they get to a certain level of platform or something, they start having opinions about everything. Not that they shouldn't. It's just that they use their opinions for everything, and then it dials down the essence of what they were there for and what their thing is in the first place. And if you want to do that, that's completely cool. But I feel like the essence of this project and this wave and this period of time is this. Creative work, getting ideas out of your head, getting them done. That's it. When this project is done, December 2024, and January 2025 comes around, I might have something to say about all of this stuff once I've found a vessel and a necessity or like a place for that to work to live. But it's a critique that I get a lot in DMs. But I'm happy that you've actually asked that in a room full of people. It's something I think about all the time. And it's not a perfect answer.
It's been so cool seeing this grow and you taking the show on the road. And I was really curious what you've learned about going to so many different countries around the world and how people collaborate, support, and talk about culture.
Yes, thank you. That's a good question. One thing that when the interactions were starting to branch out of the UK or out of London or out of Brighton, like wider, I started to dial down my writing into writing that could land anywhere. So one of the squares on this thing is like, is this still true at scale? Is create your own lecture still true in Sao Paulo, Tokyo, Mumbai, London, Brighton? Is Friends Buy Tickets true in all those places? Is Document Your Ting still true in those places? You Can't Copyright Vibe true in those places? Yeah, I think that works. If you love music, you should learn how to DJ, still true in all those places. That is like super important because there's other maybe things that are super applicable to like, UK funded art programs or London music scene, people signed to major labels. Like, those are not things I can control. Whereas like these things, I feel like stop telling people just work hard, applicable globally. You know what I'm saying? So I found a lot of commonality in, sharing those bits. I guess the thing that I've found, especially outside of London, is people feel like they need to get to a certain level to be even able to have a point of view. And that's sad. Like people are not making stuff because they feel like their voice isn't going to be heard or not worth hearing or not worth speaking about. That I see the effects of everywhere I go. And that, I don't know how to solve that. I don't, maybe this is like a prod or a, motivation for people to get going for some reason. But I've noticed that, like, they feel like they have to have a manager, or they have to have a commission, or they have to have an agent just to have a point of view. And I'm really trying to shut that down or open that up and go, hey, no, you don't. You can just remix my thing if you ain't put out a tune before. Figure it out. Go on whatever, Ditto, upload it, see what happens, Yeah, I feel like that's a lecture in itself.
We learn a lot from the content that you share, but we only see sort of the result of what gets pushed past all the roadblocks, essentially.
Yeah.
Could you give us an example of a roadblock or a failure, if you might call it, that you've experienced, and could you share how you overcame that?
Yeah. It's so weird because the scene that I come from was the whole thing was built around not being able to do certain things. So if you weren't getting supported on a radio, you had pirate. You couldn't do raves, so we made all these other things. Like the grime scene was literally an infrastructure built out of failing infrastructure and the wider infrastructure not supporting that music. So I'm just used to functioning like that. Like I'm used to functioning with no support. That's like the default. Like when I speak about independence, it's like that's the most organic thing. Like just being able to make something, load out, record it, put it on the internet. That feels more natural to me than asking someone permission to put out your work and getting approval, and someone gave it a 3 out of 5. I don't understand this. Like, so maybe sometimes that bit of like fear or failure or something, I'm not registering that as failure. Maybe someone's saying your work's pants, but like even that, most of the people that these lot that we've worked with, me, Skill, Roll T, Flav, all of them, the people that said our work was not good, I don't even see them anymore. It just didn't even matter in the end, And I wonder, like, so many people would have stopped because based on some opinion from a person, especially if it's online, it's just nothing. That would have been the failure. All right, I'd say, the failures of this project is not being able to one sentence it, as we've working together on a website at the moment, not being able to go, this is what it is. Elijah is this. That's a failure if you're trying to sell something or trying to get it to a broader audience or develop ideas out of it. But maybe it may all make sense in the end. That's me.
Hey. Close the app, make the ting. Close the app, make the ting. Make it. Close the app, make the ting. Don't prolong and elongate the ting. Don't do it. Close the app, make the ting. Close it. Close the app, make the ting. Make it. Close the app, make the ting. Cause scrolling your life away ain't the ting. I just done my doom scroll formula. I didn't think I was gonna see something mad. If you do yours, bet you a builder, your heart will probably start pumping back. But once the time's gone, that's it. You ain't getting no rebates like you're deducting tax. Too many hours spent scrolling away when there's better things that you could have done with that. If you want to use time in a positive way, you need a constructive plan. Everybody's scrolling for comfort, but without research, how can you trust in that? What you intake influences you in some shape or form if you run with that. Access to information is amazing, but when it's too much, what comes with that? And the internet's vast, so if you want to navigate, then you got to move like a cook. Create the ingredients you consume, cause too much junk food's not a good